Hello everybody and welcome to this Great Britain's women's elite game between Great Britain playing in black and Spain playing in white. My name is Lewis and I am joined by Luis, so that's not going to get confusing at all. First of all, the Great Britain team are as follows: number 2, Maddie Hollick; number 3, Sam Marlowe; number 4, Nicola Yates; number 5, Fiona Maynard; number 7, Rachel Bell, the captain; number 8, Diana Corella; number 9, Alyssa Oates; number 10, Kim Mokes; number 11, Claire Randall; number 12, Charlotte Cooper; and number 13, Sophia Tapper. Sorry, number 3, Sam Marlowe, also out. Yes, Matt, they have let me out of the cupboard, and I didn't break anything before I left, and they've given me control once again of the camera underwater. I'm going to let Luis speak a little bit now for the Spanish. I believe he's a Colombian referee, is that correct, Luis?
Hola amigos de Latinoamérica, especialmente de España. Vamos a comentar hoy el partido entre GB y España. Tenemos en la posición, en el número 1 a Alba, en el 2 a Zaida, 3 a Andrea, 5 Andrea, 6 Elena, 9 Clara, Esther número 10, 11 Marta, Patricia número 12, 13 Mercedes, Silvia número 15.
Okay, so just under 1 minute until we get underway in this court. Just heard the referee, Chief Referee Andrea Stava, just giving the call for 30 seconds to go, just making some amendments to the overhead graphics. Ellie Shelley sat out for GB is number 3, Sam Marlowe, and number 6, Amy Levaux. Levaux, however I pronounce it. So, Luis, have you refereed either of these two teams at this World Championship so far? I don't think Luis knows the most English, so I'll let him do some audio description of Canada at the most part, and I think it's going to be me doing most of the commentary here as Nicola Yates tries to drive it out to the near side of the pool. Nicola Yates there, number 4, doing battle with Elena Martinez. Elena Martinez playing her hockey in Southsea. And we've got a nice come off on the 45 there as there's a drive towards goal. Looking across, and Spain trying to just clear it off their back line, driving ever so close towards the goal, the Great Britain team. Last time these two teams met was at a semi-final at the World Championships. No, not the semi-final, it was a group stage match in the European Championships where Spain were the victors in that one, something along the lines of 4-3 or 3-2. So Great Britain is proving a bit more of a dominant team. This Spanish team has had some changes in the year between Europeans and Worlds, and 3 meters seeming to suit the Great British team a lot more than this Spanish team. But Spain now choosing to go underneath their own substitutes area and now driving across, but Great Britain cutting out that move and wanting to go back to the right as we have our first stoppage of the game. Still can't cut to the surface, unfortunately.
Bueno, tenemos un inicio del partido bastante intenso. Las chicas de GB se vienen con toda a tratar de abrir el marcador lo más pronto posible. España defiende como pueda. Vemos un cobro a favor de GB bastante efectivo. Están bastante cerca al área. Todas las jugadoras están abajo tratando de hacer cambios de frente. España defiende, trata de llevar hacia un extremo la pastilla.
You can just see there above the goal, that's Elena Martinez. She comes down now, just waiting. She's got an incredible breath hold when she's down. And here comes Elena Martinez, swimming it out to her defensive corner. Noticeable number 6, so she's beaten Diana Carella there to it. As she's now supported by numero uno, Alba Vera Jona. And then here we go. This is number 4, Zadia Zabarro Sanchez, trying to break out as Charlotte Cooper wins the puck and tries to bring it out. Sophia Tapper now, teammate of Charlie from Team Southwest. As we now have number 9, believing she was obstructed. That's Clara Martinez, sister of Elena Martinez, as we look across to the surface. The chief referee indicating this is a foul against the Great Britain team. So moving along now, we're going to get a good view of this advantage puck. Nice flick out, 45-degree flick. Numero 4. Oh, and it's cut out well there by the team captain, Rachel Bell. Rachel Bell now trying to start a counter. It comes out to Alyssa Oakes, the centre. Alyssa just being muscled off the puck there by number 12, Patricia Marco Garcia. 12, one of the numbers I've not yet counted up to in Spanish, so not going to attempt that one. Maybe Luis will help me later on. As Rachel Bell wins it back and tries to start off a move as Alyssa Oakes meets a Spanish player on the wall. That's Elena Martinez she's doing battle with there. Number 6 for España. As now we have a nice swim out towards the goal. Flick knocked down well by number 13 for Spain, Mercedes Anton Branco. And we have a stoppage in play, and we can now cut to the service once again. And as you can see, an illegal knockdown signalled by the referee, and it's going to be an advantage to Spain. Oh, didn't know that Diana Carella, the number 8 for GB, had been sent out, so that was 6-on-5 hockey for a moment there.
Bueno, cobro a favor de GB, está bastante recargada la pastilla en contra de España. GB busca por todas partes tratar de abrir el marcador. España defiende como pueda, pero rápidamente la pastilla es recuperada por el equipo de GB. Son unas jugadoras que se entienden bastante jugando al hockey, bastante fuertes y rápidas. Se muestra que tienen una muy buena preparación.
Chance now for Spain, trying to break down the middle. Unsupported swim for the moment. 3 GB bats, 4 GB bats coming down onto the bottom. One supporting Spanish player now arrives. It's GB who emerged with the puck and tried to move down that left side wall underneath the substitution area. We're looking across the pool. No movement for the moment. It's GB who tried to flick and chase. No progress made there by the GB team as more bats come down. We see Nicola Yates just on the surface as we have another stoppage in the play. And this one's going to be another advantage puck played to the Spanish team. On the far side of the pool, puck placed on the halfway line. Very even start to this match. The Spanish, similar situations to GB, only losing by the 1 or 2 goals in the contest in this group to the South Africans and the Colombians. 2 very close-done games. And it really depending on the discipline of the Spanish team. They really rely on Clara and Elena Martinez, the sisters there, and sometimes the goal-saving tackles that Elena is able to pull off. She finds herself getting an enforced break on the side as we see Elena now taking the puck to the defensive quarter. Number 10 for Idiet for Spain, Esther Zugatti Marquinez is waiting for the pass, but it's not coming her way, and GB able to take it out of the corner, switch it across the face of the goal. But Spain still doing some resolute defending for the moment.
Se acerca bastante GB y abre la pastilla con mucha facilidad. Eso les permite marcar el primer gol faltando 8 minutos 25 segundos para que termine el partido.
The puck there was just played to the corner of the Spanish goal, defended well, and then managed to force it straight back in. So that's the first goal of the game here for Spain, for Great Britain over Spain. Number 5 there, the goal scorer, Fiona Maynard. One of her long-time coaches, Joanne Pitchforth, is tuned in for this one, and now Vicky Maynard is featured as we get underway once again. Here go the Spanish going for the strike. Looks like they'll lose out this time to GB. GB just making the grade there. That's Maddie Hollick, the number 2. Playing her hockey in West Wickham area now, but also playing for London Ladies. Originally of the Southwest Ladies. Here's Maddie Hollick as we have a nice looking move, but it's Great Britain with the possession, even though it's in their end, so taking the control and going underneath their substitution area. Looking across, and Great Britain just slowly trying to do it. Nice reset done by the girls, as now they try and break down that far side wall. Still staying on the wall, but the pass finds a waiting GB player. She's able to take advantage of no Spanish players being able to get down. And this looks like it's Sofia Tapper. Sorry, I've got to try and keep up with the speed in the flick. Ooh, dangerous looking flick there by the GB player. And we've got a referee who's just come to the surface. This is going to be signalled. Wouldn't surprise me if this isn't a goal.
No
yeah,
goal.
Chris Meek there, the New Zealand referee. He's looking for the player who did it. And Maddie Hollick there with the dangerous flick. Unlucky for Maddie there. That was a lovely move. The Great Britain players managing to find the space on the far side of the court. Doing a nice job, bringing it off the wall on the 45. But then, just unfortunately, that last flick being a bit dangerous by Maddie Hollick as she now takes a seat on the side of the pool. And the Spanish call their first time out. Luis.
Bueno, vamos a ver qué decisión se toma, cómo va a replantear España el partido. Todavía falta bastante tiempo. La entrenadora le da a sus dirigidas pautas para tratar de mejorar y revertir lo que vienen haciendo mal.
Referee Andres Tavu of the USA declaring that 15 seconds left of the timeout, and then we're going to get ready, and this will be a 5-meter centrally placed puck for the Spanish, and we will see just what they can do with that as we cut underwater, and we're underway once again.
Cobra España. Tiran la pastilla al frente, van todas a atacar la pastilla, pero esto hace que GB la recupere fácilmente, la lleve hacia un extremo y empiece a trabajar el partido a partir de la fuerza. Recupera GB la pastilla.
So the Spanish with the nice numbers advantage here and making use of it, going down that far side wall underneath the Great Britain subs area. Numbers down for Spain as, it's well cut out there by the Great British defender. But Spain regain possession. John Coulser there just floating out the back. Chris Meek on the surface in the top of your picture, just looking on at the proceedings that's going on. Jenny Kennedy, the referee as well, who's featured on the far side of the pool there. Ooh, dangerous looking drive for the Spanish fair, just under the tackle, spills the puck to the inside, but no Spanish assistant there. Puck needed to go to the outside for them to have that little bit of support. As Maddie Hollick's time penalty now goes down into the last 30 seconds. Moving to the right of your picture now, the Spanish bringing it, trying to stretch that GB defence as the pass comes inside, but it's cut out well there. Looks like Claire Randall there, who was down to make that tackle. And then we have Rachel Bell doing what she's done so many times for Great Britain throughout her competitions. just being that last line of defence with a clean tackle and passing it off to Diana Carella. Oh, what a lovely catch there. What a lovely catch by numero uno, Alba Vera Yoyana. You don't see that very often. I think the technicians, oh, what time is it? 4:16. Hey. You need to note down 4:16 in this game. We'll get a nice shot of that for the Canadian underwater hockey memes. I don't have a pen, otherwise I'd do it for you. So yeah, that's what you call a nice catch. As we see another great British player sent to the bin. It's Alyssa Oates who's sent out. I'm surprised that it's Alyssa Oates who's being sent out. Looked like it was Diana Carella with the flick away there, so maybe mistaken identity and GB electing to send out a forward instead of the back that Diana Carella is. So what did you think of that, Luis? I'll let you talk about it in Spanish. Did you catch that, Tristan? Did you catch that or did you miss it? Oh, GB player, dangerous flick. All right, I logged the time, so I'll get that later. Sorry, just speaking to tournament director Tristan Reynard, and he's just telling me to make sure that I get the exact time and try and find that for the action replay highlights for the competition. At least I had the camera perfectly positioned to capture that. As now GB with 4 on 6. Maddie Hollick's re-entered the play, so it's 5 on 6, and now we see her trying to drive at that Spanish goal tray, and it's taken off. Well tackled there by the Spaniard. Just trying to get out of that tackle, but it's a nice 45 swim. The GB players have found themselves in support, playing better here with 5 than the Spanish 6, just not letting them settle. But Great Britain still with the possession here, driving towards the goal. This could be a second goal, even though they're down by 1. So this stoppage in the play, quite good for GB. Alyssa Oates' time penalty is going to tick down. She's going to have about 40 seconds when the play resumes. Oh, there's a referee timeout, so her time's going to stop on 40 seconds. Yeah, that was close enough. Looks like we're all set and ready to go, so underwater we go for this play. GB with the drive. Great saving stick there for the Spanish. They try and break down the centre, but 3 GB girls there to stop them. Trying to move underneath their substitute area now. Trying to find the space to swim, but Great Britain back's doing a great job of back tackling there. The drive on goal, that looks like Fiona Maynard, but is this Elena Martinez? Yes, it is Elena Martinez with a goal-saving tackle. She is to Spain what Rachel Bell is for Great Britain. There's Nicola Yates now down, and it's Esther Zugatti Martinez who is trying to break down the left side, coming up against Claire Randall. Nope, Rachel Bell that was. And now Clara Martinez, and she's trying to get underneath Alyssa Oates, who's just come into the pool. And Nicola Yates now just trying to spark something for GB. But there's a break down the middle now for Spain, swimming straight into the GB stick. Still with the possession as Alyssa Oates tries to tackle her. Just slowing my camera down to make sure I stay between the regimented blue lines and don't get any nasty words told at me by the technicians here. As we now chance get it into the centre for Spain. Yes, I am being a little bit too neutral as a GB commentator, but lovely move there by the Spanish. That was Alyssa Oates initially trying to stretch her legs, but stopped by the Spanish. Alyssa and Fiona only noticeable by their union flags on their fins, but Alyssa Oates having it on both sides, top and bottom of her fins. Fiona Maynard only having it on the underside of her brayers. Is Spanish now backed up on their own goal tray. Great Britain trying to go down that back wall. Just cut out well first time by the Spanish. Needs to be a GB bat inside as the flick and chase goes in. And yet the GB bat getting down just in time, and this should be 2-0 to Great Britain. Yeah, psychological advantage there for Great Britain, just scoring before half-time, and the Spanish having the pressure there towards the end of the first half, but unfortunately not being able to prevail in a great counter-attacking swim. Two or three attempts there by GB to break out their area, and that sees us to half-time. The current score, Great Britain 2, Spain 0. The graphic, if any of you are confused of what's coming on up on your screen, that is the GoFundMe page for the Underwater Hockey World Championships. Technical team here giving up their time to make sure all this information comes to you and you can have this good camera system. And after the first couple of days, they've ironed out all the teething problems. They're working hard every day to repair broken pieces of kit, and it's really impressive. I keep saying, and I don't think I've ever had a chance to fully explain, the technology that they're using on the tables here at this World Championships shows one screen out to the court for the teams to see, tells them the time and the current score. But that touchscreen system also is providing us with the graphics that are on the Tristan just trying to tell me to say something, and I've already said it, Tristan. I'm already saying it. I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it.
There's no British people funding us. Come on.
Yeah, because I didn't do any of it yesterday. I didn't find out till today.
Well, keep going.
I am going. So these
they're winning the match.
These guys. So the graphics that come up, so telling you that Diana is the one who scored that goal, that all comes straight from a feed that's on the table for the desks, and it's taking an awful lot of time to code, and they're literally coding every single day, and we're hoping that we can just get something for those guys. It might just be enough beer money, but maybe also enough money to try and further develop this technology that they can use at their own Canadian Championships, or maybe it'll be featured at future World Championships and shared throughout. Plenty of opportunities for where this could go. 2022, yeah, it's coming to. So the next future World Championships, Tristan just reminded me, we've got 2019 being hosted in Sheffield. That's an age group World Championships. 2020 is going to Brisbane, Australia. Then we've got 2021, which is going to be in France potentially. And 2022, that's when it comes back to somewhere in America. And talking to one of the American referees who's working alongside me by the name of Don, he's kind of hoping that, and he thinks that the most likely place that's going to be is Minnesota, because of the way that people can travel into Minnesota quite directly. There's quite nice bits of technology, and it's a really, really good pool that they've got there. So a really nice playing court surface. Real shame that they don't want to take it to Denver, because Denver is a really impressive technology, really impressive setup. They use the pool in Denver here in the USA for a competition called Battle at Altitude. Denver, for those of you that don't know, about a mile up in the air, so quite thin air, and some of the players don't quite adjust, and it really separates the men from the boys because of the oxygen depth that you can feature there. So we're underway once again. So the GoFundMe graphic still on your screen, and I'm sure that's going to disappear fairly soon. See, there we go. It's off. And now we can see everything as Spain start with a very dangerous opening drive, but GB sort themselves out and neutralise that attack fairly early on. Plays out on the far side wall underneath the Great Britain subs bin as Nicola Yates there tries to move the puck forward. Fiona... it's Alyssa Oates trying to just get the play back on track and put the puck back on the wall. As Spain try and break off under 45. Massive tackle there by Rachel Bell, and now she manages to break, but looks like she's being challenged there. Looks like Elena Martinez. It's either Elena or Clara. I've got a 50-50 chance, and yes, it is Elena. Beautifully positioned there. Maddie Hollick comes down to put pressure on Elena, not able to turn the corner there and get out of her defensive end. Flick forward by GB. Oh, went into blue lines. I'm going back. He didn't catch me. It's all right. And this is Clara. So nice underbody 45 to recognise the players on the swim there. And then now changing angle 45 there, but we've got a stoppage in the play. Wonder if this will go the way of the Spanish. Yes, it has. It's gone the way of the Spanish. Obstruction there by Great Britain. So they're getting back to both teams coming out of a trap really quickly there. And the buzzer's being called, and the Spanish taking it just in time, and it's cut down there. Looks like Maddie Hollick who cut that down. Might have been with a glove, but the Spanish given an opportunity to try and get out of their defensive end. Flick forward, go straight onto the bat of Claire Randall, and this would, I imagine, is going to be an illegal knockdown. No. It's an obstruction foul called against the Spanish. Luis, what do you make of the second half so far? Hola, Luis. Second half so far, what do you think? Up to the service, and it's a third goal that's been awarded to Great Britain. So that sees Great Britain take the third goal, a nice momentum decider, because the Spanish have now a much harder job of getting back into this game with 12 minutes to go in the second half. And we're just going to look and see. I was chatting with Tim Dale earlier today about how he thought the competition was going and his thoughts looking ahead towards the end of the group stages, which finish tomorrow, as Spain now trying to break. This is Clara Martinez. She had a great individual goal against the Netherlands a few days ago, refereeing that game rather than being in the commentary area. Great Britain do well to stop it there. Just the support not there for Clara, as you now see Elena in the front of your screen trying to come down and challenge for the puck. Spain just trying to keep the puck in the centre, but just one player down for Spain, and the defensive job of Great Britain as they go out. Just a shame there. Spain creating a lot of opportunities, but the final third, just the players not there, not able to be down on the bottom. I think the Spanish team struggling to adapt to the 3 metres. Their playing style much more suited to the 2 metres, which differs. I say there's a lot of similarities between the Spanish and the Colombians, but the Colombians managing to perform here a lot better in the 3 metres than the 2 metres. Just that fitness and the way they play their hockey with reduced numbers in that country, a little bit more suited to this 3 metre game. As we now see a nice drive towards the goal, and this should be a goal, and yes it is. And looking at who it is, surface camera not panning at all. Goal, and it's signalled by number 13, so that's Sophia Tapper with the goal. Pardon me. So whilst this timeout is happening, I'm going to invite my compadre here, Luis, to talk about the underwater hockey that's in Colombia and how his team's finding this competition at 3 metres. What do you think of the competition in the 3 metre pool for the Colombian teams? Is it good? Is it bad? What do you think? So for that answer, my Spanish does just translate to the muy bien and all sorts. So yeah, he says that the Colombians are finding it a more suited game, and it's adapting to their style, gives them the time. The only bit that they're more struggling with is dealing with the breaks. The general fitness of their players, and this is what I've had a translator be able to tell me. The general fitness of their players are able to drive the puck better in as a unit, so they're able to progress down the pool. They're able to defend nicer when they have goal line situations. They drew a game 0-0 early with world champions Australia, and the bit they struggle with is the chase backs, just the players not having quite the speed that some of the bigger nations and the more physical presences in the men's division, especially like the Great Britons, the Turkish and the French, the way they can swim the puck. But that's their main downfall, but they've got countermeasures in place for that. As we now get back to this game, Spain is trailing the Great British team 4-0. Sorry, Vincent. Luis is he's not quite as loud as Luis, unfortunately. No, Vincent, he is just a very quiet gentleman who's sat beside me. You want now? So what I've decided to do is I've decided to turn up the volume and move my microphone away from my mouth and see if that makes a decent difference, to see if we can make Luis a little bit louder for those of you watching in Spain and listening on in Spanish. Spain now with the puck, trying to break down the far side of the pool. Shut down well by Great Britain. Maddie Hollick now with the swim on, comes against the Spanish defender. Elena Martinez doing another sterling job. It's been quite a clean game so far. A lot of opportunities for all these players to play the games the way they want to. So maybe not even advantage played by the referee, as we see Great Britain on the break now. Vasilisa Rokes coming up against Clara Martinez. Clara with the tackle this time, and she just takes her time rather than going straight into the defensive corner. She's trying to see if she can get a pass out. There isn't, and it's Kim Mokes who tries to force the puck towards the Spanish goal, doing so finding a Timmer, and now the flick in the chase. Yeah, that was a nice move there by Great Britain. Nick Horncastle, what are you trying to insinuate? I mean, I know the referees and the officials here, Tristan especially, is saying that he's found a decent use of me not being able to shut up. So my voice and willingness being put to good use, apparently, as far as the competition is concerned. As now we have a timeout for Great Britain, Tim Dale electing to have his timeout. I must also say, Nick, it's a lot harder trying to commentate with somebody to let them have the time in a different language. I'd much prefer so if any of you tuned in to have the final game of yesterday, France versus the USA, I was accompanied by my friend Darryl Brambilia, and we had a nice toing and throwing there, and some of the opportunities that I get, and as well with Vincent when he's out of the Masters games, feel like that progresses very well, but obviously forgetting sometimes, getting carried away and not letting the guy who's sharing the microphone with me get a word in today. But so far we've got a decent game. It's been very clean, nobody really being sent out of the water, just Great Britain 1 for barging and 1 for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's Maddie and so referee timeout being taken. Can't quite understand why, as I get up and look. I think it's referee Jenny there, Jenny Kennedy, just giving them a team warning. And she's saying that she's giving team, signifying number 15 being given a team warning, which is I find a bit strange, not quite following what's going on there, as once again we get underway. So yeah, I don't quite know what that was. They're confusing signal. Not a lot of team warnings being given here. Just had some cheers in the pool next door. Colombia playing Canada. Stoppage into play. You can just see there Amy and Sam Marlowe just sat on the edge of the pool. Doesn't look like they're interested in the game at all. Don't know what they're talking about. I invite suggestions of what Amy and Sam are talking about as we see. Oh, it's Esther Zugasti Martinez who comes out onto the sin bin. So some of you referees from World Championships will know Esther. She was at the European Championships as a referee, but her and her refereeing compatriot from Spain both playing at this World Championships. Ezekiel playing for the men's elite team, as Great Britain having a 6-on-5 drive towards the tin. Well defended initially by Spain, still on the far side of the pool. Spain trying to clear their lines and break out to that wall, but a stoppage into play. Luis, what do you think? Oh, this is a penalty shot that's being given. So, Elena Martinez, who saved a few penalties in her time, not quite the prolific history of Richard, who plays for the Canadian elite team, but very successful job of saving a lot of these penalties. Sophia Tapper and Rachel Bell down this time. Oh, and that looks like it's going to be, well, I think that's a flick at the body. So I've got to feel like they're going to say no goal from sportsmanlike conduct, because the referee out the back there is John Coulser, a very experienced referee from the United States. And I've got a feeling that this is going to be, she's down, it's a flick at the body, it's high, and yeah, the puck's on its way up, and it's going to be a dangerous flick on sportsmanlike conduct. So, an unorthodox way of saving the penalty there by Elena Martinez. Normally she likes to defend it with a stick and take it off, but putting the body in the way and taking a high flick by Rachel Bell. Looked like if it was going to go backwards, it was going to hit the top of the tin and drop down. But anything will do for GB, as now we have the lead-off won by Alyssa Roach, flicked out on the 90-degree lateral going towards the substitute side wall. And yes, I'm sure some of you have made a commentator's bingo card for me, Louis Salim, with the 90-degree lateral, 45-degree slide, underbody laterals. I mean, I've tried not to say power play as much this time. Vicky Maynard, you will know. I'd like some appreciation for that. But I will accept all criticisms and comments as they come. Nice comment, Nick Horncastle, saying that if he was sight challenged, he'd know exactly what's going on. But aren't all us referees sight challenged if we're in the water? Just a comment from the coaches and others. No, I'm not going to come out with the Nick comment of saying highway to the danger zone. I straight up refuse. I'll try and find some different film quotes, or I might do what the England football team once did and try and fit different song lyrics. But I've not quite got all the ideas that I want to try and fit in. I once met Jeff Stelling, the commentator and pundit for Sky Sports, and he was saying that in his early days when he worked for Eurosport, they were playing. He had to cover ice hockey, and it was a World Championship final between the USA and Russia, and he was saying that the best He said he didn't know anything about the sport and didn't know any of the players. So for all the people listening on Eurosport, he just recited the names of all the different presidents who were playing, because that's the only way that he could talk about them. As we have a nice break off on the 45 by Great Britain, driving to the far side of the goal, defended well by Spain, and they take it out to their defensive corner underneath their substitute area. Luis.
Vemos que GB está atacando por todas partes, está abriendo la pastilla, quieren entrar la pastilla por fuerza y España decide que no puede. Vemos que hay una falta.
Stoppage in play. And it's a goal. This goal being awarded to number 2 for Great Britain. So that's Maddie Hollick with the goal there. Sorry folks, just looking at the time to see how long I had until my next game in the water. And we're almost ready to get underway once again. The puck has been reset and we're going to start slowly going across with the Spanish team as they go towards the strike, but it's the GB number 5 Fiona Maynard who's going to get it. Nice little flick and chase through. Unfortunately, Spanish player well positioned to take it up. She's still on the drive now, is Fiona Maynard, but it's going to get pulled back. Unlucky there, Fiona, for not being able to go through. Well followed up and great tolerance to stay down. Spain now trying to drive on the 45. A surprising scoreline here, 7-0. These teams seem much closer matched, but as I say, the Spanish team just seeming to tire more in the second half, and the Great Britain team just making advantage when they had the extra player in the water, as Esther Marquinez was out on the side. I'm going to hand over now and just leave Luis in charge and pass this remote on to the technicians, because I need to go and prepare for my next game. I'm in the water refereeing between who knows, Canadian and the Netherlands women in this women's division. So that should be a bit of a closer game. I'd expect the Netherlands to have the edge, but quite a nice defensive setup and interesting team that's out for the Canadians. I mean, I've got 40 seconds. I might as well just stay. And I'll be back for the game later on this evening for you guys. Later game between the GB and Australian Masters. That could be potentially a very close game. I might even have Nick Martin here from that Tasmanian commentary team of Glory Days getting here. And it looks like this might be a late goal. Fiona Maynard not quite easy to put it in, but it is a goal and we've got 15 seconds left. That's going to run the clock down. And goal given to number 11, that's Claire Randall, who mocked me at European Championships for calling Helen. But hey. Right, the final score in this match, Great Britain 8, Spain 0. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you all, having you all on the chat later this evening for that game between Great Britain Men's Masters and the reigning world champions who beat them in that silver medal match, Australia. Thank you, bye-bye.
In the water, and it's kind of fun. You're like, that's like like, that's not how bodies are supposed to move, but it's kind of fun. Are you gonna do an interview? Hey. There we go. Okay, come, take a sit. Okay. You see it? Yep. Because you're playing that pool, right? Are you commentating right now, or are you just taking it?
No, I don't want to commentate, but I can do some.
You want to drive? Okay, cool.
I can drive or switch.
Okay, so you want to take a seat?
Okay.
None of the headsets work over here, do they?
Good.
So,
Doesn't break too.
you can't hear anything. No, it won't work anymore. So you gotta worry about it. They not, none of them? Oh, I know. Especially the last few minutes. So, all you have to do to switch screens is press this button that says cut.
Okay.
So it'll switch this from the surface camera to the underwater camera.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it might get you to drive. Yeah, just so he can sit there and press cut, and you can take a seat. I'll grab you the controller. Oh, that's stuck. Woo. There you go. And you know how to drive? You've done it before?
I already explained it to my son.
Okay. Yeah, so don't go past this blue line on the side, or